promise I'm not going to be long this morning, but she'll all be glad to hear. I'm going to keep it down to at least 2 hours. I'll try not to go over that. Alright? I'll keep it short and sweet. I just want to pray for a moment. Father, I just want to thank you for this wonderful day. I want to thank you for the privilege of being in your house, Lord. And I just want to thank you for what we've already received. And I just pray right now for your blessing over your word. I just pray for an anointing. And I just pray that it will do something new in our lives. Just bless it to us, I pray, for your name's sake and your glory. Amen. So you all glad you're here? Yes. Where? You want to see all the food? We got loads. Don't eat it all because I need a box tomorrow. I got a question for you this morning. And that question is, how to explain love? How would you explain love? Well, I was thinking about this, and I believe love is not a feeling. Love is an action that comes about from a feeling. It's not just a feeling. This feeling causes you to do something. You know, like we said about the Camry period, we said about the Romanian. To show our love, it causes to make an action. And everything I'm about to tell you, share with you, I do it because I love you and I want the best for you. It's as simple as that. There's no ulterior motive. I'm not going to gain from this, well, apart from sharing the love. So, basically, I just want to say, if you think about it, right, there's many people in this place this morning who are parents. And if you was to ask any parent what the worst thing, or one of the worst things that could ever happen to you, what would it be? Lose your child. Whether it be through death or through, you know, like you go shopping and you kind of lose them in the shop. We were in Cardiff Bay the other night. We took the kids down one weekend and it was packed on it. There was a food festival and there was arcade rides and everything. And in all the noise, and I mean there was a lot of noise, there was a lot of hustle and a bustle, you could hear a mother frantically calling for her son. And I tell you something now, when a mother calls for her son or her daughter, people join. Within minutes, there was everybody who was looking for this child. And I think, you know, because whether you're a parent or not, you get that feeling in your gut. You think, oh my life, there's a child gone missing. And you call up action. And I think it's the worst thing, the worst feeling is to lose a child. You just take Madeline. You take how everybody rallied around the Madeline thing. No one had ever met her, but everyone wanted to find her. Everybody was looking for her. There was something about, I can relate to this child. I need to find this child, do whatever I can to get this child. And you know, it's been, well, it'll be 3 years of me. I remember it. It was not long after I started. I started in April, and in May, Madeline went missing. And you can relate to it because she's the same age as Kate was. She was a year younger. She was around about the same age. And I did it. First thing I thought was, oh my God, that could be my child. So I started looking up. I don't want to depress you or anything, but I started looking up on the internet. And in America alone, 797,500 children that are younger than 18 were reported missing in a single year. That's reported missing. That's not including the ones that wasn't reported. 58,200 children were the victims of non-family abductions. But by that, they mean a stranger, obviously, when I talk about. Because out of all our number, 202,500 were actually family abductions. You know, you see it on the news where a mother got married to a father from abroad, and the father comes, takes the kid, takes it back. That's a family abduction. But 15,200 children were victims of normal family abductions. It averages out at around about 2,185 children a day. And that's in America alone. That's not the rest of the world. 2,185 children kidnapped or abducted every single day in America. I remember seeing a film, you may have seen it, Man of Fire. Very, very powerful film. And apparently it starts by saying that in Mexico alone, a child is kidnapped every 6 seconds. You imagine living in Mexico with the constant threat that your child may be kidnapped. You may never see your child again. In the film Man of Fire, there's a guy who's assigned as a bodyguard to this child for a very, very wealthy family. Imagine now, right? For a lot of us, it's a bit hard to imagine this, but imagine you're a multi-millionaire. Money is not an issue. You have 2 or 3 wonderful kids, and one day your child gets kidnapped. And then you get a phone call. They demand a ransom. But it's way more than you could ever afford. You know, I would say I got 20 million, but the kidnappers want 30 million. This is what happens. They want more than you could ever afford. You would, as that loving parent, you would do absolutely anything to get that money. You would sell your house, you would sell your car, you would sell your soul if you had to try and raise that money just to get your child back. There is no limit to what you would do as a parent for your child. And then imagine then, every time you spoke to the kidnapper, they told you they were going to kill your child. You'd be beside yourself. And there's a reason why I'm saying this. Because see, this is what happened to mankind. This is what happened to us. When Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, they were allowed to eat from any tree except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And what happened next takes me back to my childhood. Firstly, I was told never to speak to strangers. Never to speak. And you know what? I didn't learn a lot from my childhood, but I can remember being told, never speak to strangers. And the second thing was, never take anything from strangers. And you know, you may remember, for those of you who are around my age and older, you may remember the adverts. A guy in it was a Cortina, and the chip parked outside the school, and he'd say to the children, do you want to see my puppies? I always remember his voice, do you want to see my puppies? And the child would go, yeah. And they'd get in the car, and the next thing the car's driving off.